Hey pack leaders, this is Hien. I'm gonna be doing a State of the Union trade bot State of the Union. So I've noticed that I guess until I push this update out, I need you guys to take what you need for the day and then shut the bot down when it's done. The reason why is because the strategy is, we're gonna be trading sideways. Not gonna worry about the big wicks and ups and downs, whatever. It all kind of return back to the safety channel, right? And that's where kind of how the strategy works. Now there are zones where we actually disable the center zone when the bot it tries to push wide, and as it pushes wide, and we're like, dude, we're not gonna get trapped in here because our stops is way high, and if you get in and it goes against us, there's a bigger loss. Okay, so we have to wait time for that to kind of narrow down so that when it's on a thinner channel, we can enter here, but then our stops are a lot closer and our risks are a lot less. Okay, so we take what we need. Once we're done, eventually it's gonna break down or up. It'll with you or against you. The thing is that we're not set up to trade that thing. And also there's times where you can see where it's just up and down, it wicks whacks, and it's like I can't even type fast enough, and let alone the bot try to figure out what it is. And as soon as it puts it, maybe puts it too late, or it detects something and its price slams down, and I puts it on the wrong place, and because it kind of got through what we thought it was gonna be, it slips through, and then everything's just all jacked up, right? So those are where you just roll the dice, and we're not gonna roll the dice in this game. So now the only way that you'll be able to participate in these pumps or dump is that you somehow happen to be in the right direction. Okay, and if we're not, we're just gonna stop out, wait for the trend to end, trade sideways again. And these are where you're gonna take these bigger losses. All right, and they happen every so often, but majority of the time, say maybe 75-80% of the time, we're trading sideways. So it's just a lot of picking up those little quarters along the way, and we can do higher leverage. It's a little safer in a sense, until those things happen. Now, as soon as the drop does happen, or you get stopped out, I've noticed that I rarely see like back-to-back red big ones, that you get stopped out on, and because we've kind of programmed to make sure that we don't participate in these big trend ups or downs, and we kind of wait for things to settle before we jump in. Okay. So unless the bot really knows, like, hey, these guys are waiting for a certain amount of time before we, as soon as we get them in, just pump it, then we'll have to make adjustments on our sides. I'm like, oh well, if it's every whatever X hours, then we need to extend that out because they're we're gonna have to change according to how they're changing, so kind of thing. So that's it. Okay, so take a profit. You need $100 a day, $200 a day to pay your food or whatever, or just kind of live comfortably. Take it, all right, and then close and shut down your bot. Now also withdraw, okay, because you can accumulate this big amount, and then that one time, because every time you enter the market, you're exposing yourself to that risk. Okay, and maybe we did well the first 5 days, and then that one time, the 6th day, all those times it's add up, even though we've shut our bots down, and that one time that you just entered, and boom, it could take that big amount away. So you can do a daily withdrawal. That's really conservative. I probably, for me, maybe weekly is a little more better. But hopefully it's just more like, let's just try to time it where we notice certain things throughout the day, where maybe weekends is bad, so we'll take our pull of profits on Friday, and then lower the trade amount on the weekends, ramp it back up on Monday, and go from there. So I'm gonna have a certain daily day of the week auto adjust, and in position, out of position auto adjust, and also a dollar goal auto adjust, because like the current P&L, it's kind of like auto adjust. It's like you make a profit, but then your trade balance is bigger because we tell it to trade bigger because you made more money, so let's just go bigger, and it just goes bigger every time, right? But every time you do that, the goal to reach that percentage is higher now, because then you have a bigger balance. They're starting, so 10% of this bigger wallet now, and then the 10% of this bigger wallet, 10% of this bigger wallet, and it's like you're dangling this carrot for the bot to chase after that it'll never reach unless like it hits a pump or dump that will really leap over and hit that goal for you, and then it'll switch out your wallet and say, hey, you're done, go, sit out. So Yeah. All right. So I don't know what else to talk about, but let's say let me see here. Let me see. So this is here. I've stopped my bot. You can see they're off. I have my ETH here. I lost pretty big when I woke up. So I'm like, hey, I noticed that once you have a loss, guess what? There's a bunch of greens. So as soon as you lose, don't shut it down. Let the bot continue to ride this out and take as much as it can. So that's what I'm doing here with my ETH. I think it holds pretty true. I think I saw 2 here. But let me... Oh, this is my ETH. No, this is my ETH. No, this is my ETH right here. This is my ETH right here. So I'll show you that. Yeah. 2 big ones. So, you know, I haven't seen that in a while, so it could happen. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but most likely from past trends, as soon as you take that big one, you see a bunch of greens. You take a big one, a bunch of greens. So that's kind of what I'm basing off of, you know. You might have a few that's local. I think this is the one where we had settings that were too close. So now that we have these bigger settings, it shouldn't. I haven't seen this in a while. So, but it's new to me. But yeah, I just stayed in the game, and we'll see how much we can build back up. Okay, so don't shut it down like, oh, I lost big for the day. Well, stay in until you get your goal, and then shut it down, and keep your profit basically. Okay. All right. So next couple of days, I'm gonna be hunkering down to get this done to you guys. I'll push a small little update to fix the transition once you get out of a position. And then it's trying to get back in, right? But we need to wait for it to kind of settle so that it doesn't get in the middle of a transition point. And I think that's how we're getting stuck, for it to kind of go, okay, there's no positions that you can enter right now. Once that happens, then we start the loop until we'll kind of keep looking, checking to the start of the transition of entering. That's when you want to enter, not on the tail end when it just goes, oh, I just got a position, 10 minutes is over. Of waiting, let's look back at it and go, oh, this is fire, but it's already at the trail end of that firing signal. And as soon as you get in, it reverses, goes the other direction. You're like, dude, now we're stuck. So I think that's what's been happening. I'm also going to have an option for you to check so that you can lock the version down. I don't have to create all these multiple versions. So you can say, hey, this is good. Let's click this button, lock it down for now. I'll test on a smaller bot and go from there. And definitely do test on a smaller bot. I know that it's tempting in my laziness to just say, hey, I pushed an update. This is a great idea. Let's just throw it in there and then go, oh, shoot, I didn't consider this. And it just messes up our streak. So I've it cost me. It took a lot of money of lessons before I say, okay, I get it. Now I have, you know, these 2 are my BTC, my ETH, and this is my testing one right here. My testing one, I already made... you know, a good $10 off of $100. No, off of $30. So $30 risk, made 10, so 33%. I've leveraged 25x. This is like a highly risky one. It doesn't take I don't know how highly risky, but it's highly leveraged for sure. But it doesn't trade the central zone, so there's less trades. But the once it gets in, they're kind of juicier trades in a sense. Less to risk because it goes against you. The stops are closer because I noticed that the market tries to push your stops out and then tries to hit you in the wrong direction here, so that you have a bigger gap to go. So then what we do is not trade the center zone, always long the bottom, short the top, and so that we know that we can put our stop just really close there. If it goes with us, great, there's a huge thing, or if it goes against us, there's a tighter stop in a sense. But we've already made that downward move in there, so it has to push even more to go further down. And so that's why I think the market, we have the better edge instead, because it's already traveled so far down, and now we're gonna long that and bounce back up. And so far it's been working well. That one red was before I had learned about that and disabled that central zone training, but overall you know, it's been doing pretty good. And this was like before, so this is 1220. I haven't used this account for. I was like, oh man, liquidation on the dollar contract, right? So I was like, all right, this ain't working. And then speed up to April, I started using this account again. So, and it's been pretty good green, pretty good streaks for the last 2 days of testing, 2 losses and 2 pages of greens on top of that. So, all right.